Appreciate it. Agent Jot, thank you for the prime. Alright, we have Arabia, we have Capoch against Liereyy. See, I like to spend Dark Age. Let's fast forward a bit. I spend Dark Age pretty much mapping out how they should wall. So I'm not sure if Liereyy will do this wall, but his wall makes sense to do that wall, right? Of course, if we have everything, if we can see everything. Like Liereyy, if he wants to properly wall, it should be like this, and then... But that's a lot of investment into walling, right? And it's unlikely that Liereyy will go for something like this. But then again, he's doing a lumber camp here, which means for him to secure that, it's either something like this or the far wall, right? But I would expect something more like this, right? I would also not be surprised to see Liereyy do like range, and just kind of small wall like this. Like if he goes like, it's the fly season. If he goes like range, wall, and then something like this, that's an option to secure the right side, but that leaves the gold exposed to range attacks. So far, yeah, really has Liereyy really has a rough map on the gold, both main gold, extra golds. God, I can't click anymore. Both extra golds are forward. God, why do I always draw boobs? And then we have main gold there. They gotta get used to these hotkeys. Alright, looking at Capoch's map. First of all, I mean, again, Liereyy is playing as Persians, Capoch is Chinese, so a little bit of skill advantage there for Capoch. Capoch's map makes sense to wall something like this. You want to close the gap there. This is also an option. Something like... How did I do that? Oh, there we go. Yeah, highlighter. That's true. So this is an option, but this is also an option there. Like, secondary option could be there. And you probably have something like this. Military building. Rectangles are pretty much the military building sessions. So he has a very easy, simple map to wall with also really good resources. And with gold, stone in the back, main gold also kind of protected. So Capoch definitely got the better end of the stick when it comes to the resources here. Let's see what Liereyy has scouted. He knows about these woodlands, so he might actually commit on the far wall that we predicted. We're winning the scout war as well. There's the stable. Let's slow down the speed, so we are running at normal speed. Okay, there's a regular stable opening from Liereyy. I'm expecting him to continue this wall here. Makes sense with the way he's already preparing the wall. I expect wall there as well. Maybe ranges and whatnot. This area right there. Capoch, he's also walling exactly as we predicted. Going for a stable as well, so a scout's opening for both players. Obviously Capoch with 2 villas extra, that's the nature of Chinese at this point. You kind of expect it to have a village lead. The main thing with these civs is, so I would say Chinese and Persians are the same civs until late Castle Age. Both civs can play exactly the same units. Both civs can play scouts, they can play men-at-arms, they can play militia, they can play archers, they can play skirms, they can play cav archers, they can play crossbow, they can play knight, they can play camel. They're the same civ until Imperial Age, or like late Castle Age. So, the question we have to ask ourselves is who will differentiate first? Will they both just stick with a camel or a stable war for most of the game? Will any of them switch into archery range, etc., and so forth? We'll see about that. Either way, what we can see here is that Capoch obviously is fully walled, not making a single unit, making a spearman. He hasn't made a single scout. He's done horse collar, bit-axe, and he's just doing a full economic approach. While Liereyy invested into 4 scouts, or 3 scouts rather, of course including the starting scout. It makes it 4. It's actually still open here. Capoch needs to finish at the wall. I think Liereyy will kill the spear. Takes 1 trade. Capoch, you kind of need to wall this, sir. Capoch. Okay, well, suddenly there are 2 scouts inside and causing issues for Capoch. Very unnecessary. But then again, it is just 2 scouts. But then again, 2 scouts are super annoying. That is obviously super unnecessary, and that puts Liereyy in a really good position because he'll have 100% scouting intel. Capoch will have no way at all to surprise Liereyy with, like, imagine dropping 2 ranges here, right, and just surprising Liereyy with archers. That's not going to happen anymore because Liereyy has all the information he will need now for the rest of the game, or at least until Castle Age, which is what he wants. So he wants to keep those 2 scouts alive to see Capoch's transition to Castle Age. That's pretty much the whole purpose of those 2 scouts at this point. Oh, I actually like this move by Capoch. It's a weird one because you are safe and you are not going to take damage. But I somewhat like this move because he wants to remove the scouting intel from Liereyy. But then again, I don't think Liereyy scouting that Capoch is not going to go range is a problem. So in one way I don't like it. It's 160 food invested to trying to deny... Like, it's 160 food invested to deny something that should never have happened in the first place. So it's still very unfortunate circumstance for Liereyy here. Liereyy with great micro as well, as usual. Picking up. Even made a 3rd scout. Ooh, that's a rough one for Capoch. I have to make 3 scouts to deal with the fact that 2 scouts got into your base. Nice trap though, so these scouts are going to go down. But still, this is like... Capoch had to invest so much into this. And we can see Liereyy almost ready to click up. And keep in mind he has a Persian town center as well. Those town centers produce faster. Or works faster. So he will hit Castle Age even faster than normal civs would. So yeah. Liereyy in a very good spot here. And have a 18-minute something feudal age, Castle Age behind this. Now this area is obviously super exposed. He's doing short walls now to kind of secure the woodlands. He'll probably do short walls here as well potentially, or just not at all. But still, it's just 2 scouts, right? So he doesn't really have much to worry. One of them also very low HP. Liereyy must be feeling very comfortable with his position right now. The Slusk, thank you for the sub there. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, Lierey's secondary goals are horrible, but at the moment they're not going to be a worry until later stages of the game, right? So it's not a big problem for him. Capoch is now, he doesn't have the second building, so Castle Age even delayed further. It's going to be a 2-minute advantage for Liereyy here, going to Castle Age, so... Depending on how Liereyy wants to play this, he will either try to put pressure with early military. It's just one stable for the time being. So it very much looks like Liereyy just wants to go for the double TC play, get the equal lead and adapt from there. And Capoch will probably be the one who makes more military, and it will be up to him to actually do damage. Armor upgrade coming in for Capoch as well. Liereyy hasn't done a single upgrade. We're going to see probably a TC on the wood, or wood there. And a TC on the gold here would be my prediction. There we go. And Bosa, probably heavy plow will follow soon, and one stable knight production. So Liereyy just super stable, confident play. Not gonna invest into any risky forwards. He's just gonna put economy up and he's gonna adapt to what's happening in the game. Even using the knight with this Castle Age advantage, he's using the knight to defend. Which also shows that there is no intent here of aggression. It's just all about getting that economy lead. Monastery as well, super safe, passive. Never hurts to have a monastery. Capoch double stable. He's going to be making units, but he's not going to be able to find any damage anywhere once those TCs are up. Yerf Dog, thank you for 28 months. Stable play, Kappa. It's a very stable play, indeed. Surprisingly, we didn't do heavy plow. He had the resources. But okay. Capoch also going for Bosa immediately, dropping 2 TCs. So this is the issue right now for Capoch. He fell behind and he's playing catch up. Now the big difference is that he has 2 stables against 1. But the thing is, he's going camels. Camels are not a damage dealing unit. Camels are a defensive unit that you use in engagements and to fend off knights or cow watchers. So he's going for defensive units. when he is playing catch-up. That's a tough spot. This is just ladder games, no tournament. TheViper are doing such tutorial lessons more often. We'll see, we'll see. Yeah, I feel like it's a wrong play to just go 2TC immediately and like that. I think it has to be like some forward shenanigans. You cannot play catch-up in a mirror match. I say mirror match. It's not a mirror match, but the civs play out as a mirror match until late cast age, early imp. Goy Gumba, I'm not gonna play today. Giving my wrist a little bit of a rest. A wrist rest. Actually, I could use my left hand a little bit now since we're just... Oh! Wait, what? Oh, okay, good. All good. Okay, get ready for some miscontrol. Using left hand now. So awkward. So Camo's trying to break through the wall, but yeah, again, they were like Capoch has a 300 score lead, but it should be mostly due to scouting. If we check their scouting intel here, Liereyy has way less scouting than Capoch, and that's where the score difference comes from. I think it's actually open here now, even. Am I not right in that? No, it's I think it's walled. All right. Monk now coming in. We're gonna chase those camels away. Liereyy has a 10 villager lead, and I'm sure he's aware of that as well. He knows that he's in a good lead, good position, and he doesn't have to worry about that. I like that Capoch did heavy plow though. That's something that's gonna help a lot if the game carries on. But Liereyy is the one with wheelbarrow. I mean, 11 villager, 10 villager difference is not massive. It's not that big. So, and you would argue that Chinese do have a better late game composition. So it's not too bad for Capoch. Both of them just collecting relics. Both of them have one. Looks like Capoch is about to get 3 relics at least. Last one would be over here in the left corner. Josham, thanks for the prime. Pete01, thank you for the 7 months. Yeah, Liereyy now spiking up the production a little bit. He's got 10 camels on the field, and he might be looking to take an engagement soon because 30 minutes lead. I mean, Bloodline's coming in, +2 attack. Yeah, Liereyy wants to take map control now. He has decided that it's time to take map control. Kind of a sloppy fight there from Liereyy though. He's gonna lose 2 or 3 camels here for free pretty much. Just pick off the scout, but this should not have been any losses there. Is that a 4th TC? It is a 4th TC for Liereyy. So Bloodlines and +2 armor, 3 monks. Capoch still has a better army. So both of them have to be careful with how they engage this. Liereyy going for a pikeman switch. I like that, and this was probably the plan of Liereyy the whole time. That's why he went for +2 attack instead of armor, because he knew that he was gonna make a pikeman switch. So it makes a lot of sense that he did not prioritize the armor upgrade for cavalry, but rather +2 attack, which will benefit pikemen as well.
Really enjoy your casting. Very informative. Smile.
Thank you, PN90. Appreciate the 5-euro donation. I'm glad you enjoy it. Expect more of it, because I need to do some of that. Yeah, we have like a bit of an engagement now. Liereyy does have less militaries. It should be a very good fight for Capoch. Indeed. 3 conversions for both players. And Capoch gonna get a very convincing fight here. Capoch is also picking up relics. He's gonna have 4 relics against 1 relic as well. So Capoch suddenly putting himself in a really good position map control wise, or initiative. While Liereyy now dropping extra barracks. He did cancel one of the secondary barracks he had and switched into no extra barracks, but now he's dropping extra barracks and he's going to go pikeman. Let's see if Capoch identifies that fast enough. He doesn't see the pikeman switch happening yet, but he's going to go for a 4 castle. Oh boy, oh boy. It's only 5 villagers though. Oof, and the pikeman upgrade is in. There is still enough military that I think Capoch should get the castle up. But only having 5 villagers, And there we see a pikeman coming in. Capoch might think twice about dropping the castle as he sees the pikeman. Okay, he doesn't think twice at all. Castle coming up, and as we mentioned earlier, those 2 golds here from Liereyy, super exposed. And Liereyy almost has enough stone to drop a castle himself. Doing a seed workshop, and he might do a counter castle, yeah. And he's probably going to support. He's going to finish the seed workshop as well, and probably support the castle fight with some ramps. Yeah, Capoch obviously knows that this castle has to go up, so he's sending another. There's 12 villages now building the castle, and well, Liereyy up to Imperial Age. He's definitely gonna have the edge there, as Capoch is still investing a ton of economy into villagers. Should Capoch get fletching? Well, at this point he should worry about Imperial Age, because Liereyy will have a huge advantage on that if Capoch doesn't click anytime soon. Maggie Votes, thanks for 9 months. We have a baby. Poggers. Let's go. Yeah, Pikeman will keep Liereyy safe. He still has the equal lead, slight equal lead. There's 5 TC now for Capoch, by the way. 5 TC. Yeah, just idling those town centers and you can click up immediately. And we're gonna have like a 2-minute lead to Castle Age here for Liereyy.
Hi Viper,
minute and a
will we
half.
see some team games in the future? In YouTube or some kind of tournament? Much love from Israel.
Yo, Louder, thank you very much for the 5. If you have been paying attention to my YouTube channel recently, I've been uploading a few team games with the World Desert Championship. That's tournament and team game. 2 flies and 1 smack. But yeah, team games have been a bit dry lately. We'll see if... I cannot really say, right? It depends. Sometimes people suddenly figure out that, hey, we're going to play team games again. And suddenly we have only team games for a month. So it kind of comes and goes, but yeah. Let's hope we can get some more team games soon. Posh building a castle on the hill, staying nice and safe. And yeah, Lierey's biggest issue is the lack of the extra golds here. But he did find an extra gold on the bottom side. He was planning to drop a castle there, but he changed his mind. Yeah, just keeping that extra gold for himself and doing a castle on the top side instead. He really wants to cement his, like he wants to make sure he has control over this area. So if he doesn't take back control of this area, he's in a world of hurt. The Capoch going for Arbalest and Pike. Well, he's going for Pikeman now. It'll probably be Pikeman, Chukunu long term. But we're first going to have a Trebuchet war, very likely. There we're going for Cavalier, going for last armor upgrade. Let's see if Capoch is in time with the walls. Looks good so far. But only has 2 villagers, so... It's gonna be a lot of walling here. He needs to. This tile has to be clicked. Ooh, okay, so far so good for Capoch as the camels come in as well, so Liereyy will back out of there. And yeah, Trebuchet out. I'm surprised Liereyy didn't drop a ram. Light cav coming in as well, so Liereyy is committing on the cavalry line so far. As we have Capoch hitting the Imperial Age, making some outposts around the map. I like that. What is this game for? ELO. ELO. Why are there white lines between those trees next to those castles? What? Maybe because I had selected them? I don't know. Not sure what trees you're referring to. There's the castle on the hill for Liereyy securing that gold and the stone. And yeah, Liereyy maxed out. Capoch pretty much maxed out as well. They're with 149 vills. Capoch with 144. They're both doing a little bit of an overboom, and Capoch is actually just giving up this castle. So he's letting Liereyy get back on gold. I mean, it's not like it was his choice, but I will put Liereyy in a comfortable spot as Halberdier is on the way for both players. And that's what I told you guys. This is pretty much a mirror matchup until Imperial Age. And this is where we're going to start to see some differentiating. Yeah, for the time being, Halberdier seems to be the go. Liereyy, of course, doing the Cavalier as well. Capoch has some camels. He's doing heavy camel as well. So Capoch going more for the counter attack. I'm surprised we don't see a Chukunu though. That is kind of the unit, you might say. The Cavalier has been in production forever now. Maybe cancel it and recruit it again. But big fight now. Castles don't even have fletching. The upgrades as well are better for... Actually better for Capoch here, for infantry. But yeah, if these castles had fletching on Balkan Arrow, this fight wouldn't even have been close. It was still a very good fight for Capoch, as you don't really want to engage Halberdiers with Cavalier. So Capoch getting a really good trade here as the Liereyy switched away from the castle to target the trebs, which I don't think was the right decision here, because those trebs will go down anyway, and he could have potentially taken out the castle. Capoch taking a convincing position here now. It's both of them just getting Halberdiers out, and one trebuchet down for Liereyy. And like I said, late game composition should just be better for Chinese here. Yeah, Liereyy finally giving up on the position, as he should. And this is the point where I think if Capoch now switches to Chukanu and play... What? He's going Cavalier? Dude, you have one knight. What? I don't see any argument at all for going Cavalier in this situation. I don't see any... I don't see a single reason to upgrade Cavalier. I'm quite surprised about this. That house, super low HP, forgot to build that, so he's gonna lose that. Yeah, Capoch taking a convincing position in the center of the map. That's gonna be where Liereyy has to worry about. Yeah, Cavalier is strange. It should rather be a Chukunu play with Halberdier. And I don't think Liereyy has any answer to that composition. Being quite active here with Liereyy. He's being chased by Halberdiers. So Capoch investing some population on the... Like, those traps are quite unprotected now. Only like 7 Halberdiers. So Capoch might lose all trebuchets for nothing here. He's now doing light cav. I still don't understand the Cavalier decision. So it was a nice move by Liereyy to start attacking on the sides, because Capoch suddenly invested a lot of Halberdiers in chasing down Cavaliers on the sides, and allowed Liereyy to take back some control in the center. 2 trebuchets down, possibly 3. Capoch losing all his trebuchets here. Brutal. Brutal. Liereyy dropping another castle in the center. The 2 trebs do stay alive. And do some quick walls. Is it fast enough? Just in time. But yeah, it's just palisade gates. Those Cavalier can just break the gate in no time. Yeah, Capoch in a bit of a dicey spot. I feel like Capoch just hasn't made the correct transition yet. Like, he has the far superior late game composition with Chukunu, with Halberdier. Yet he's not... Look at this goal, he has 2,500 gold! I mean, at this point, you just... I mean, you have control over the center area, right? This is the most crucial part. You just make 20 Chukunu and 30 Halbs. 30 Halbs, 30 Chukunu, and then you push straight through the middle, right? There's no reason to mess around. Like, just leave like 5 camels on the side, 5 camels on this side, and you're completely fine. And you just push straight through the middle. I think Capoch is playing this quite wrong at the moment, in my opinion. Also, still no fletching. Like, think about it. What is the advantage Chinese has over Persians? It is Chukunu, it is Arbalest. Capoch is not using either of those yet. He's playing a mirror match against Persian. Ooh, sniped. Now Capoch doing some nice raiding himself, so gotta give credit where credit is due. Still both of them a very healthy population. Very, very tight match at the moment. Capoch is... I think Capoch is really good at this whole thing of spamming units on all angles. Why he was also good at... like, showed really good promise in the first Red Bull match. Still only fletching here as well for Capoch. I think Liereyy might be thinking about the crossbow switch, Commander Ram, or hand cannoneers even. It's not carpal syndrome. Just type !! wrist, and you will get all the information about my wrist. Massive amounts of traps though. I mean, for the time being, those amounts of traps are good. There's a bomber cannon out now though, so that can start sniping down. Nice hit again. Balkan arrow is in now. Like, the trebuchet opening was fine because he wanted to compete with the traps of Liereyy, but now he needs the support unit. Yes, there's 1500 gold in the bank. I don't understand why we don't see Chukunu. It's the best unit in the game, possibly. Maybe one of the, like, at least one of the best units in the game. So Rickstar, thank you for the 3 months. Yeah, Lierey's getting solid trades here now with the Hankuners, and Capoch might again be losing a lot of traps if he doesn't respond fast. 2 bomber cannons out here for Liereyy. And Capoch again has to fall back. Now we have some small engagements on the side with Hustor and Lightcap, but nothing major. Again, some nice raids in the back here. Actually, I've got quite a solid raid there. Both players are down to 120 villagers. Can someone explain to me why we don't see Chukunu, why we don't see Bracer? Why do we not see range units? Now it's dropping archery ranges. If he goes Skirm, I'm gonna be sad. It's going crossbows. It's going Arbalest. So he's investing his gold into Arbalest. It's not like it's bad, but Chukunus are just better. Yeah, I like this move. Sneaking some stables on the sides. It's open there, so those want to come in the whole time. But Liereyy now has left 7 halberdiers on the farming space to keep that safe. We're gonna get to see how bad Hankuners are, by the way, guys. These guys are so inaccurate. Tell you guys. Thank you, Hecklastic. Appreciate the 10 months there. Mr. Pecker, thanks for the 6. The Bracer's in, Chemistry's on the way. Still 0 armor upgrades for their range units from Capoch. And he's losing the ranges as fast as he came up. Remaking ranges on the bottom side. Again, I just don't understand why the gold investment wasn't in the Chukunu, rather. It could be, the argument could be that he might be fearful of losing the castles, therefore he didn't want to invest so much gold into Chukunu upgrades. But it's just such a good unit that you kind of just think it will always be worth it, right? Capoch still has a lot of gold here. Over almost 3,000, over 3,000 even, possibly. Gonna get some solid raids there. Giving up a castle as well as Capoch and just charging in through the center. But he's investing into heavy raids in the sides now. Here's economy. He's gonna lose a lot of it. Down to 100 villagers, Liereyy. Lierey's gonna lose a lot of economy here, but he's also returning the favor. Killing a lot of villagers from Capoch as well. But yeah, Liereyy is taking back control in the center. And we have Arbalest with +1 armor. Ballistics is coming in now. +2 armor. Hmm. 89 vills from Liereyy. 120 for Capoch. Lierey's game right now hinges on the success of this army. If that army doesn't win the game for him, Liereyy is probably dead and out. Oh, the bomber cannons are being attacked right now. Very low HP, all the bomber cannons, but they all survived so far. Okay, that was quite all 3 bomber cannons survived there. Very important for Liereyy. Population of 150 for Liereyy. He's starting to struggle a lot here. Our numbers are getting there, slow and steady, so he will probably fend this off as Liereyy realizes that and falls back. But yeah, Capoch could still jump on the bomber cannons here, as they are low HP. Decides to go back though. Okay, still getting solid raise. Liereyy on 84 villagers. Suddenly have to make villagers again. That's never a good situation. Well, Capoch, look at him. He has 139 vills and he has 11 vills in the queue. Capoch is going to end up with a situation where he just has too many villagers and suddenly doesn't have enough room for army anymore. This is yeah, I mean, there's been constant activity on both sides. Like, you've had raids through the sides on the map the whole time in Imperial Age. So it makes sense that economies and everything goes a little bit out of control. But yeah, Capoch has to be careful here that he doesn't. That he has to realize that he's making too many vills. Look how inaccurate these are. Such a bad unit at the moment. Hankin is. Yeah, well, Arbalest is still a very good unit, so composition, Arbalest, Halberdier is better than anything Liereyy can do at the moment, considering the gold income. But I'm still very surprised to see Liereyy never invested into Commander Run. He can still make crossbows. Sharing is caring. He could still make crossbows that only cost wood. So it would be a good situation. Also no rams from either player either. Glad you like it, Auroras. Or Auroras. Isn't crossbows better than Hankins? In pure damage output, no. But consistency, yes. Another raid coming in here, but Capoch is reacting to it. Dude, Capoch, Liereyy will do you a favor killing villagers. You have 150 villagers. If Capoch loses like 15 vills here, that will actually be good for him. Because he has way too many at the moment. Will you play Red Bull Volvo? Yes. Liereyy never got Heavy Plow. Yep, indeed. We talked about that one earlier. That one is gonna hurt in the long run. So Liereyy trying to make a push again here. Capoch has to be careful to not lose any of his crossbows here. Arbalest, that's the most important unit for him right now. Capoch still has 1500 gold in the bank. Keep in mind as well, Capoch has 4 relics, while Liereyy only has 1. So yeah, I felt like Liereyy had to win the game earlier when he had the army in this situation. But now I feel like we're in a position where it's probably not going to be possible for him to come back. Yeah, Lierey's struggling with 160 population, only 100 villagers. Raids still coming in. Liereyy even had to do a castle on the left side here to be safe from the raids. Oh, what's happening here? What's happening here? Doing some micro now, but yeah, taking some damage, I feel like Capoch must have some military sitting on. These are idle. Okay, Capoch has 18 halberdiers on the right side here. Idling. That's 18 halberdiers missing, or 18 population missing from the main fight. Actually quite important at this point in the game. 20 units missing from the main fight is actually huge. Those 20 halbs are here. He wins the game right now. Is this live? We're probably a little bit behind. They could have finished the game already. I jumped in and I fast forward a little bit, but then we started watching in normal speed. You can create an account where you're only allowed to play with your left hand. I can, but at the same time, if I do that, my right hand will still be active on the keyboard, and it's not good wrist movement on the keyboard either for my right hand. I'm not sure if I want to do that. Capoch doing another castle on this nice little hill in the center, and it's going to start trebbing down that castle from Liereyy. Liereyy is still struggling to get his population up. Well, oh well, look at that! They were useful after all. Now probably Capoch is aware of them, so that's actually great for him that Liereyy went there. Capoch consistently maxed out. Liereyy is struggling to get to 170 population. Siege Ram upgrade is on the way. Ooh, exposed trebuchets though. Nice gate there by Capoch, but yeah, it's still gonna be surface area here. And probably all... Ooh, Liereyy actually targeted the furthest trebuchet. I think that some trebs might survive here. Yeah, Liereyy did a misclick there where he went for the furthest trebuchet. So one treb will actually survive here if Capoch is repairing. Oh, yep, one treb survives. Very important. So it means the castle will go down. Raids through the center. Like, Liereyy is limited to Halberdier Huster at the moment, which is why he needed Commander Run. But even then, if he has Commander Run, if there was, like, Liereyy doesn't have access to much wood anymore, right? And Commander Run is a big hit on your wood income as well. So Liereyy is in a very, very desperate situation. Yeah, castle is down, so it's just looking It's looking more and more dire for Liereyy every minute here. Capoch is even still mining. He still has 1200 gold left to mine. Just don't see a way back here for Liereyy. Thank you, Jakob. Arthigos, thank you very much for the prime there. Trebuchet, is that being shot by the bomber cannons? Indeed. Treb gone. Trying to snipe the bomber cannons with Arbalest. At this point you just dive, right? Because Liereyy can't afford to replenish while Capoch can. Siege Ram are now in, and yeah. Liereyy calls the GG. I feel like Capoch would have won this game way earlier, honestly, if he went for... Like, he had 2 castles here, right? He just went for... He just went for Chukunu and attacked through there. You have Chukunu and Halberdiers in my pretty box here, pushing straight through. Wait, actually, oh, I gotta be careful with what that looks like. I don't even do that on purpose, but that actually looked like it could be something else. Okay. Yeah, let's be careful with that. If he just goes from here, oh shit. If he just goes, he had his whole army here, right? If that's 40 Chukunu, 30 Halberdiers, 5 Trebs, Liereyy never kills that army, right? So that's kind of what Capoch should have just done earlier. I am still shocked that he didn't go for Chukunu, pretty much the best unit in the game. Almost. Cost effectiveness, cost efficiently. That's a bit surprising, but yeah, still. I feel like Liereyy as well. Like, try to think about how Liereyy should have / could have won the game. Obviously, he had both the golds on the. He had the golds here, 2 of his external golds. That makes it difficult. I don't think Cavalier was the play. Probably the play for Liereyy would have been Siege Ram, Halberdier, maybe hand cannons, maybe trash bows, something like that. I'm not sure. But yeah, we had attacks all over here, like there and there and there and there and there, there. A lot of army in these positions at some points. Yeah, the box there where he had the Halberdiers. And of course, don't forget when the scouts went that direction and then they came there. And then obviously, we think back to the start of the game. We even had scouts coming in through the wall there, which looked terrible for Liereyy for a second there. And he kept running around here, like, you know, he kept chasing those scouts around in the base. And even made 3 scouts himself in order to be able to get there. Then he got out, and obviously the castle age transition. Liereyy had a few more vills as he was booming up in this box over here, and eventually it was kind of just a mirror match for a while until there was castle drops in the center. Like there was one castle there, and then the trebuchets kind of came from this angle and this angle, and suddenly we had a fight down here with trebs from both those angles, and then Capoch won. Hope you guys enjoyed. Anything to see in the stats? Game. There we go. KD equal. Economy. I think quite equal in most things. Gold more in favor of Capoch. Obviously having the 4 relics. That's quite huge here as we have relic gold. Wait, oh, they moved relic gold to economy, which makes sense, but usually it's in society in the actual game. 3,000 more relic gold. That is quite significant. Quite significant indeed.